What if every meal was Thanksgiving dinner?
So to sort of, go into like details on our plan for this, we said you can't just eat leftovers, you got to make it fresh every time. That's important because that's what Thanksgiving dinner, like obviously part of Thanksgiving is eating leftovers. But Thanksgiving dinner itself
part of
is
after
Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Yeah, like capital T, capital D, Thanksgiving dinner.
Exactly. Yeah. So not just your dinner though. All meals you eat, including snacks or anything, have to be Thanksgiving dinner.
So what I was looking into, if everyone's eating Thanksgiving dinner all the time, can we even keep up with the amount of Thanksgiving food that we need? So just like on a production scale side of things. So I was going to do it global, but all the stats I found were all for the United States. So I'm going to focus just on the United States with my numbers. And you can just multiply them out by a bunch to get to the world population. 20 times about. So on Thanksgiving, an average of 88% of Americans eat turkey, which is actually higher than I expected.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Actually, I guess that makes sense.
And that translates to there's 46 million turkeys eat Thanksgiving. If 100% of people ate turkey every day, that would be 52.3 million turkeys.
Yeah, I guess because you have to get a new turkey every time, right?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So that's 52.3 million turkeys per meal. And just as a point of reference, there's 325 million people in the U.S., so one turkey feeds about 6 people. So you want to invite some people over because I think you're gonna like maybe have like a rotating. I don't know how you're gonna figure out how many people you invite each time to each of your Thanksgiving dinners.
Would you call it a rotisserie system?
If everyone eats 2 meals a day,
that was the correct reaction to that joke.
How proud his voice was when he said that.
That's 105 million turkeys that we need per day. So how much room do we need to house all these turkeys? The turkeys that you eat Thanksgiving are hen turkeys. They're they're smaller than the tom turkeys, which are the boy turkeys, by actually a good amount. Like the female turkey is like 15 to 20 pounds, and the male ones are twice that. They're like 35 to 40.
Wow.
So I went with shitty, horrible slaughterhouse conditions to see, assuming that this would be commercialized very quickly.
Right.
They mature a hen turkey in about 13 weeks from birth to slaughter. So you actually get 4 cycles of turkeys each year. So the 105 million turkeys a day over the whole year, divide that by 4, we're going to need 9.8 billion turkeys at any given time. So again, in the most tight, compact factory conditions, how much square footage do you think each turkey gets?
I think at the size of a turkey.
Like 5 feet? 5 by 5?
No. No. This could be like a third of a square foot, or like a half a square foot or something.
It is 3 square feet.
Well,
which is like
underestimated.
1'8" by like 1'8". So not a lot of space. So if you just take that and you just take the 9.8 billion, multiply that by 3 square feet, you end up with 29 billion square feet of turkey space that you need, which is equal to 1,063 square miles, which is approximately the size of Rhode Island.
I was about to ask, can you please translate this into a conveniently, shaped state for me? So thank you for that.
But this doesn't include the actual facility and everything that goes along with the turkey space. According to John C. Voris, the extension turkey specialist at the University of California Avian Sciences Department.
That's a title right there.
That's an impressive title.
You need a minimum of 20 acres for a typical 50,000 bird facility. So, doing some unit conversions, that brings us to 3.9 million acres, or 6,200 square miles. So, 6 times more. So, what you're going to actually need is something about the size of New Jersey.
Okay.
So, my plan is we just repurpose New Jersey. It's now Turkey Town. Just everyone move out. It's all about making turkeys there now.
Don't spread it out strategically. Just all put it in one spot. That's smart.
Yeah,
that's a smart thing to do.
I agree with Marcus's plan because it's way funnier if it's all in New Jersey.
And so that's the amount of turkey that we're making. And it's actually, just one state isn't too bad for all the food production.
Yeah.
This is actually only about 30 times more turkey than we're already making each year in this country.
Oh, wow.
That's actually absurd.
Yeah, turkeys are number 4 protein. A lot of it goes to the deli meats. That's where you don't notice it. It's not like everyone's buying turkeys to make
sandwich.
Thanksgiving. All the sandwich slices. That's what happens to all the toms, is they get sliced up.
That makes sense.
But moving on to the rest of the Thanksgiving meal. There wasn't too many places that I thought would be choke points as far as like production goes, because you don't need that big a portion for a lot of these things. I considered potatoes, mashed potatoes. So mashed potatoes figure about half a pound of potatoes per serving. So you need a pound of potatoes per day per person, so you need 325 million pounds of potatoes per day. So that gives us 118.6 billion potatoes that we need to grow each year. Currently, we make about 44 billion, about a third of that. But just doing what I did before, the amount of space we need to make all these potatoes is 1,600 square miles. So you have two options. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not 1,600. You need an extra, 1,600 is how much potatoes we do now. You need an extra 2,700 square miles. So you can either take Delaware and Rhode Island and make them potato palaces, or pick your least favorite half of Massachusetts and use that. I got two more here. I looked at cranberries. You don't need a lot of space for cranberries. You only need like 270 square miles, which is basically nothing.
Doesn't it all have to be flooded though?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, was how you actually harvest cranberries, if you've ever seen that. It's a big pain in the balls to go to each bush and like pluck off all the little cranberries. So what they do is they build a like dirt mound like in a square all the way around their patch. And then they flood it with water, and the berries float, so just the buoyancy of the berries pops them off all the bushes. And then basically they have like 3 feet of standing water, and it's just cranberries floating everywhere. And you just skim the surface of the water to harvest them all. So that's the cool cranberry fact. Not too hard to make as many cranberries as you need for everybody forever. And then the last one I looked at was corn. So corn is less for us to eat and more for feeding the turkeys. Because you need approximately, for every pound of turkey that you grow, you need to feed it about 1.2 pounds of corn. There's other things that go in the feed, but the feed's about like half corn. So you need like 2 pounds of feed to make a pound of turkey, and then the corn is 1.2 pounds of that. So for each of those 9 billion turkeys, we need 20 pounds of corn. And so we need, where's my number? 19 billion pounds of corn. And currently, we produce 4.3 billion bushels of corn, which translates to 240 billion pounds of corn produced annually, specifically just for animal feed.
Wow.
So we already make like 20 times more corn than we need to feed the turkeys to feed all the other animals that we no longer need because we're all eating turkey now.
Right.
And that's already only the third of the corn that we produce. So we're like good on corn, guys. We don't need any more fucking corn.
What's going to happen to all the cows? We're not eating them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, milk. You need milk for stuff.
We feed them to the turkeys.
I guess we just stop bringing cows into the miserable slaughterhouse existence. So yeah, we have Turkeytown, New Jersey. We have potato palaces in Delaware and Rhode Island. And everything else we're pretty good on. You can theoretically just push this all into the Midwest and just say like,
why do you put it in the Northeast?
Because these are the states that are small enough to
they're conveniently sized mostly.
The Midwest is very big. But the cranberries have to be in the Northeast because they only grow in colder climates.
That's true.
So cranberries I have an excuse for, but I didn't name a state for them. Even Rhode Island was bigger than cranberry crevasse.